So you bought some magical supplies using somebody else's formulations. Now what? What's up, everybody? It's your favorite pirate captain. It's your favorite goddess king. It's your favorite auntie, uncle. It's your favorite hood healer, high priestess, motivational dominatrix, LadySpeech in the place to be. And I want to welcome you back to my channel. You could be anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world. And you're also sharing a little bit of time and space with me. So thank you for that. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can keep up with all of my happenings and shenanigans and goings ons and things. Now, let's get into today's video, shall we? All right, y'all. This video right here is inspired by two things. Number one, I am currently in the middle, literally right smack dab in the middle of creating my own line of spiritual products. That's right, honey. LadySpeech has got some magical things coming for you, all right? I'm talking candles. I'm talking conjure oils. I'm talking bath conjure crystals. I'm talking about a whole line of spiritual products to help aid you in your empowerment and in your sensuality, all based in spirituality. So that's inspiration number one for this video. Inspiration number two for this video is I am the store manager for Big Liz Conjure. That is what I am currently doing. I'm store managing for this store in Columbus, Ohio. I absolutely love it. It is a black-owned, queer-owned, woman-owned botanica, apothecary, occult store, magic store, okay? And the products that fly off of our shelves at the highest rate are the products that are made with Big Liz, with Mambo Liz herself. Her formulations, so her conjure oils, her conjure crystals, okay? Her bath bombs, all right? Her spiritual soaps. The products that we make that have her formulations, those are the things that fly off of the shelf the most, okay? So this video is inspired by the fact that I see a lot of people buying a lot of other people's magical formulations, and also I myself am getting into the game and creating my own formulation. So I wanted to talk about the protocol when it comes to buying other people's magical supplies that they have made, and how you can incorporate those supplies a lot more seamlessly into your own magical practice. This is also about how to most effectively use products created by other people's formulations in your spiritual work, all right? So I'm super excited to share some of what I think are some of the best practices when you're using things that are created by other magic people. So let's get into it. Let's get deep down into it, baby. Research, divination, and gut instincts. Know who you're buying your products from. When it comes to magic, it's a very intimate thing. And whatever tools that you use are going to be brought into a very intimate space, a very intimate practice, a very personal space with you. Not everybody is out here in these internet streets meaning everybody good. You need to research. You need to research, you need to research, you need to research. You need to vet. You need to understand who it is that you're buying magical supplies from. We live in a world where it is quite easy to learn a few skills to make a bad product look really, really good. Huge companies do this all the time. There are billions of products out there that are really, really crappy, but they sell, and there's an audience for them because of marketing and advertising. Because of this, it is really easy to fake the funk. It is really easy to set up really good lighting. It is really easy to learn how to speak eloquently. It is really easy to learn how to sell people on things that they don't need or don't necessarily desire. Because of this, when it comes to your magical supplies, you are going to need to apply some research to the people that you want to buy from. You're going to want to need to search their social media. You're going to want to need to look into their brand. You're going to need to look into who they are. Not only the physical research is going to be important, but also divination, divination, divination. Before I go to buy someone's product, I divine on it. Now, there's a few ways that you can do this. You can pull tarot cards. A lot of you who are OGs to this channel, you know that I'm a reader. You know that I divine for people. You know that I do this on a collective space and also in a personal space, okay? I don't only use the cards to divine. First and foremost, because I am a diviner, I don't need the physical tools. This skill is in me and I can use it, and oftentimes use it without the cards. So number one, or without any tools. But the cards, when I do choose to use tools, the cards aren't the only tools that I can use. I have my dowsing sticks. I also have my pendulum that I can use, okay? So before I go purchasing anybody's product, I divine on it, I pray about it, I check with my spiritual team to see if their magic, if their energy is in alignment with who I am and with my current magical, mystical needs. And then and that's actually my first step, because if it's not in alignment with my spirit, if it's not alignment with my spiritual team, then there's no need for me to do any more vetting outside of that. There's no need for me to do any research. Once I get the okay that this person's products are good to use, that they will aid me in whatever I need to be aided in, I still put in additional research about who this person is, where they're coming from, how long they've been in the game. I don't buy products from people who've only been practicing magic for 2-3 years. I don't do that. As someone who's been in the game for over 23 years, I don't want nothing from you if you've only been in the game for 2 to 3 years. When I teach people 2 to 3, your first 2 to 3 years of being my student, you ain't gonna make too much of nothing. You're gonna be doing a whole lot of research. You're gonna be doing a whole lot of study. You're gonna be doing a whole lot of foundation building, okay? So I put in the research. After I check with my spiritual team, I vet these people to make sure that I am working with someone whose products align with not only who I am as a person, my values, what I got going on, but also to see if their products align with what it is that I need to do. If I am looking at your products, it means there's something that needs to get done in my life, and I need to make sure that those products line up with what it is that I have going on. So research, vetting, and trusting your intuition. There's sometimes we see things and it appeals to our, to our senses. It appeals to the shininess that we like. It ticks off all these boxes in our head, but it doesn't align with our spirit. Like our intuition, like our eyes are like, oh my God, that's so beautiful, that's so pretty, but something in your spirit's like, don't trust it. Intuition, instincts, research, and divination. These are going to be some of your best friends when it comes to determining whose products you should be buying. Tip number 2, cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. First and foremost, I want to introduce you to the products that I'm using as an example. This is a fixed votive candle. This is a Black Power fixed votive candle that Big Liz makes, Mambo Liz makes. You can purchase this candle at biglizconjure.com. Tell them LadySpeech sent you in this piece. I'll probably see your order because I work there. I store manage. So this is a Black Power votive candle, and let me introduce you to the other product we're going to be using as an example. This is a spiritual soap. So this is I don't know if you can see that formulation. Let's see if we can get a focus on here. There we go. This is the Van spiritual soap that we make. Now, I actually made this soap myself. I also packaged it, so the package doesn't look great, and that's because I knew I was taking this one home. I knew I was taking this one home. So this is why it looks a little bit wonky. It wasn't going to nobody but me. It wasn't going to nobody but me. So number one, those are the products that we are, using. And again, you can purchase those at biglizconjure.com. So the second step we're going to talk about is cleansing, all right? I don't know about other stores, but Big Liz makes these in bulk, and then we have a station in our store where we keep these, all right? People regularly go through the baskets of these fixed votive candles and they rifle through them to get to the product that they want, all right? So with that being said, there is people's energy lurking all around this product. Now, this product is sealed. It is sealed, and it has been sealed, and when people are in the store, they don't open, we don't allow them to open the product. So it's not like people are in here. Once we seal it in the bag, it's sealed. However, people's energy is up and all around here, okay? So the first thing that you want to do after you divine, after Spirit has said this is a go, you can definitely purchase these people's products. The first thing that you want to do is cleanse that product, okay? When you get that product to your house, when you get that product home, you want to have a method of cleansing that will help take care of it. Now, you can use all of the elements to cleanse and to purify things. You're going to need to choose the element that's most appropriate. Because this is a candle, I would not cleanse this with fire. Hello, it'll melt. And I actually wouldn't cleanse this with water either, okay? What I would do is cleanse this with some type of smoke medicine, okay? Or I would cleanse it, if you got the juice, you can cleanse this with your prayer, you can cleanse this with your meditation, you can cleanse this with your own breath, you can cleanse this with your own energy, your own ashe, okay? But usually I would just go ahead and take some smoke medicine and some prayer to this to cleanse it. This way, and when I'm cleansing it, I'm just removing all of anybody's energy from this, including the person who made it. Including the person who made it. So sometimes you will have people who make products, they make them in bulk and then they have them sitting. And sometimes you will get your whatever you ordered made to order, okay? Even with that, even if no one else has touched it except for the person who made it, once I get it, I want to remove that person's individual energy from this product because I'm going to use this product for my own personal gain, okay? I don't want their energy. I don't want their issues. I don't want their problems. I don't want none of their anything. I don't want none of their ashe to influence any of my spell work, any of my conjure work, any of my anything. So the first thing you want to do when you get someone's product is cleanse. And you're cleansing it from all the energy of anyone who's touched it. If it got sent to you, you're cleansing it from the energy of the mailman, all the places it's been through. If it was custom made, you're still cleansing it so that you can claim that energy for yourself and provide yourself a good foundation for some additional prep work we're going to talk about soon. After you cleanse that bad boy, the next thing you want to do is connect. You want to connect to the product that you're working with. You want to spend some time with it, okay? You want to establish an open communication between you and that mystical item, all right? So whether or not you're buying other people's magical products, whether or not you're creating your own formulations, one of the strongest things with magic is connection. Connection to spirit, connection to the elements, connection to the ingredients you're working with to form whatever it is you're forming, connection to each element that goes into your workings. Connection, all right? So you want to sit with it. There's several ways that you can connect. For me, if I'm going to connect with a product, I like to take it either outside or I like to take it into my altar room, or I like to get into my bedroom. I like to get into a quiet space or a space where it is peaceful, a place where I can focus, and I literally just sit with it. Now, if I am on the outside and I'm forging and I'm gathering materials to use in my magic, I do the same thing. I sit with it. Before I come up with my own formulations, I sit with every single ingredient. I sit with it. I form a spiritual highway of communication between us so that this element can speak to me. I come from traditions where everything has spirit, and all you must do is listen and tap in so that we can unite spirit in the moments that we need for the things we need. All right? So you want to connect. You want to connect with that piece, that instrument, that tool. You want to connect to its use. You want, if you happen to know the ingredients that went into it, you want to connect with those ingredients. If you don't happen to know the ingredients, oftentimes if you just sit and connect with things, they'll tell you what it's made of. You have no idea how many times I've sat with an object, I've sat with a spell, I've sat with something and been with it just in I've been communing with it in meditative space and prayerful space, and in prayer, in meditation, the attributes of the thing comes to me, or the use of the thing comes to me. And then when I end up putting in more research, what I was told by spirit or what I was told by the object itself ended up coming true or ended up being fact. So one of the most important things that you can do when you get someone else's product, after you cleanse it, you want to connect to it. You want to connect to it. You want to connect to the ingredients into it, because this is going to make your next steps that much more potent and even easier. And again, there's several ways. Prayer, meditation, holding it in your hands and connecting with it in that energy, sleeping with it. You might have a special altar that you use to connect to elements or to charge them. Several different ways. Use what's best and most comfortable for you. But in my opinion, connection is key. Point number 4. Infuse. Now, if someone made you something, they had a point. They had a reason. They have a whole something as to why they made what they made, okay? And hopefully, if they are practitioners worth their salt, worth their weight in gold, they will have worked those roots. They will have worked those elements. They will have prayed over them. They will have really infused energy. They will have charged all of those elements up. They would have put the research in. They chose all those ingredients so they complement each other and they complement whatever the end that needs to be met, okay? They have put prayer. They have put meditation. They have charged it on the new moons, full moons, super moons, the sun. They have talked to their spirits. They have talked to their guides. They have put all the energy into that product. They took that product and they did all the things. They did all the things. They have loaded this up with energy, with all of the things. Now it's your turn. Listen, I'm powerful. And I know for a fact that Mambo Liz is powerful. I used a few of her products before we became friends. And I knew when I got the product, and I went through this whole process that I'm taking you through. I went through the whole process with her products before we became friends. Once I got the product, when I understood who she was and I got the product, I was like, oh yeah, this has got some juice. This has got some juice. This has got some juice. Now, had I used the product and it just had her energy in it, there's a good chance that things still would have worked. There's a good chance that, you know, I know, and especially now that I'm on the back end of things, I know she works the roots. I know she prays. I know she does the things to infuse these with all the good energy because I see it. And I'm also now a part of the products. When I create the formulations, when I create the roots, when I'm using her recipes to do the things, I'm praying into it. I'm putting my own juju into it, okay? I'm beefing that up, all right? So we work that. We put our juju into it, okay? However, it's your issue. It's your spell. It's your working that you're using this ingredient for. So you need to infuse your power. You need to infuse your intention. You need to tell the thing what to do. Now in magic, this is a really important step. When we talked about that connection piece earlier, building that highway of communication between you and the elements, this is important because you need to tell each and one of those elements what it needs to do. Those of us who are root workers and have been dealing with herbs know that most herbs have at least 2, if not more. At least 2, if not more, properties and things that it can do. So for instance, basil. If you have nothing else in your pantry and you need help with luck, you need help with protection, you need help with love, basil's your friend. Basil can help you with a lot. Basil can attack many different problems, honey. The same thing with Hyjon root. Hyjon root, if you have nothing else but you got a Hyjon root, baby, you can work a lot with Hyjon root. You can work a lot with the Hyjon root, okay? But you need to tell it what to do because it has several things that it can do. So if you're doing a protection spell, but you're not being specific about that's what you want, and you're using elements that have a lot of lovey-dovey elements to it, then those things might activate within your spell and not necessarily, or within your working and not necessarily the protection element, okay? You need to tell it what to do. You need to infuse whatever it is that you're working with your intention. And I mean every single aspect. So when I'm using my ritual tools, I have ritual crystal knives. Some of those crystal knives that I have are just general ritual purposes. Some of those knives, I have 2 black obsidian, beautiful ceremonial knives. One's a dagger, one is a knife. It is beautiful. And those are intended for specific things. But even though those are intended for specific things, when I pick it up, I tell it what it's going to do. Every working that I use it for is different. So I tell it what we're working on. I tell it the point. I let it know this is what we're cutting. This is what I'm going after. Sometimes I need to cut a cord and I use that. Sometimes I need to stab an issue in the heart. I tell the elements what to do. So when you are getting products from people, you need to infuse. This is why that cleansing is important, because it creates a nice even palette for you to do this on, and that connection is important so that you can speak to the things within those workings, within those products to help in your aid, okay? If the person that you're working with, the person that you're buying from, if the person that you got the product from, if they are about they magic, if they really do got the juice, then what you got is powerful. You're already working with some goodness. But if you want to take that working to the next level, you need to infuse it. You need to infuse it. You need to infuse it. I see a lot of people. This is the difference between sometimes when two people will buy from someone and one person use it for something and they're like, that worked, honey. Things happened for me. My life shifted. The money came. The man left. Everything just whoop, whoop. It worked quick. And there's some people who are like, I got this. Everybody said it worked for them, but it didn't work for me. Well, what did you do? Well, did you work with it too? Did you work for it too? Did you put your magic and your juju into it too? Now, this is going to be important because the flip side is also true. No matter if you're intentional or not, we're always imbuing, infusing the things around us, the elements that we work with our energy. So you need to be very clear about what you're infusing. So if you're, for instance, if you're doing love work, but you're in a bitter mood, and you're not being honest about the fact that you're in a bitter mood, then when you're doing your love work, that bitterness, the energy of that bitterness is going to seep into the love work. Listen, I don't ever do money manifestation work when I'm feeling really desperate for money. I don't. If I'm in a position where I need money and I'm desperate, I do not do money work. I don't do money work. I either wait or I manipulate myself into a better mood, into higher spirits, because the energy that I am at in my heart is what's going to dictate the energy of that spell. And I have learned through trial and error, fertile magic, when if I need to manifest money or abundance, if I need to manifest love, sexuality, if I need to bring something to me, it works best when I'm in a good mood. It works best when I'm feeling good. It works best when I'm laughing. It works best if I'm feeling sensual. It works best when I'm feeling myself. So I will wait, because I know no matter what, my true feelings, my inner feelings, what I'm feeling for real deep down inside, that is going to influence the working that I'm doing, okay? So infuse the products. So let's take it for an example. I have used these spiritual soaps quite often. I love them. These spiritual soaps are really good. First and foremost, they're good for your skin, okay? But first and foremost, these soaps are really good if you can't take a spiritual bath. They are loaded with the essential oils. They are loaded with the prayers. They are loaded with the formulations. It's absolutely perfect. But before I get into the bath with this, first and foremost, I'm going to unwrap it. I'm going to do everything that I told you. I'm going to cleanse it. I've already vetted the person. This comes from Liz Conjure, and I also made this personally myself. So I've already done that. I'm gonna cleanse this with some smoke medicine. I'm gonna take it out the packaging. I'm gonna just hit it with the smoke medicine. Even though I was the one that made it, and it's only been in my possession, I'm still gonna cleanse it. I'm still gonna cleanse it. I'm still gonna cleanse it because I made this soap and I brought it home with me a few days ago, but like, things will happen and this will pick up energy. So I'm going to cleanse the energy. After I cleanse that energy, I'm going to sit with it before I get in the shower. I'm literally just going to sit with it for a second and be prayerful with it, tell it what to do, ask it to help and assist me. This is a Van one. So this is about protection and all kinds of other things. If you know, you know. Van is a classic. So I'm going to ask this to do all the things that I needed to do. And because I'm dealing with water, I'm going to connect to my water spirits that are in my spiritual court. And I'm going to ask for the assistance of my water spirits to help this to be everything that it needs to be for me. I'm going to pray over it. I'm going to meditate with it. And every single time I use it, I'm going to pray with it. I'm going to work it because I know it's been worked. I know the formulation itself has been worked, and I'm going to work it every single time. Okay, I'm going to tell it what to do. I'm going to infuse it with my intention, with my essence, with my wants, my energies, and my desires. And last but certainly not least, activate. That's the last step. Activate, honey. Activate it. That's the last thing that you want to do. That's the last thing you want to do. That's the last thing that you want to do. Okay. There's a lot of times when people they get their magic supplies in and then they just get to using it. They have no process around it and it's a dud. Womp, womp, womp. Also, this can also be the difference between, like, listen, sometimes you will buy some products from people who maybe aren't the most magical. But if you connect with it, you understand what that thing is made of. You can connect the dots. I have taken, I'm gonna tell you something. I have taken a product from a former priest, a former priestess, a former teacher, and because I believe so deeply, she turned out not to be a good person. She turned out to be not a good person, and I'm thankful for the spirits for protecting me from her. But because I took myself through this process, she made products, and I turned a dud. A product that was essentially a dud into something that was workable. I remember there was a few people who she gave her formulations to. She gave a couple of her formulations to some of her other students. And most of my peers she gave that to, actually all of them who she gave the formulations to were like, this did not work. This was nothing. It was just, there was just pretty mica in it. There was some herbs and things. But because I took this, myself through this process, it did work for me. Now, it didn't work in all of the ways that she intended it to work. But because I put my juju, because I ended up connected, it did do what it needed to do for me in that moment. Part of this was doing everything that I said, from the cleansing, from the vetting part. You know what, and I will say this, the vetting part I didn't get wrong, because she needed to be who she needed to be for me at that time. And because I am dedicated to my spirits, they told me when to vacate, to exit stage left, and to get up out of her face. But she served the purpose that she needed to serve for me in that moment, and I learned a lot of lessons, even though she taught them by not being the greatest person and not being the greatest leader, okay? But because I took myself through this, because I cleansed it, because I connected, because I sat with it, because I infused it, and then I activated it under my energy with my needs. So it wasn't like she was just picking up random sticks and dirt and throwing them in a bottle with some oil and then keeping it pushing. She did use actual ingredients. She did do that. She did do all of that. But because her energy and her intent wasn't the best and wasn't on the up and up, that affected the energy of that stuff. Did I end up getting more product from her? No. No, Spirit was very clear, like, we're the ones doing the work in this, so you can make your own stuff or get it from someone else, okay? But the moment I activated, after I did all the things, the moment I activated that product, the product did what I needed to do. So imagine taking something that does work. Imagine taking something that from someone you have vetted. Imagine getting a product from someone who is really powerful and knows their stuff. Imagine getting product from someone who worked the roots and did what they needed to do. And then imagine you adding all of your goodness, your sweetness, your juju to that. Baby, you will take that and your spell work to the next level, okay? After you do all the things you do, you need to activate the product. And there are a bunch of ways to activate it. A lot of us have different, in our traditions that we come from, we have specific things that we can do to activate something. You can activate things with prayer. You can activate things with ritual ceremony. There are certain rituals that are in open practices that you can use. You can also prayerfully come up with your own, okay? There are a lot of different ways that you can use to activate something. But after you do all the things, after you do all those 4 steps I just shared with you, your last step is to activate it, is to turn the light on in it. Literally, you want to turn the light on with it. You follow these steps and you will have way more success with the products that you get from magic people, okay? In my opinion. And this comes from someone who, again, has made custom formulations for people, not on a mass level, but I've been making custom formulations for people for a very long time, and all of them have worked. All of them have worked. All of them has worked. This has come from someone who does. Although I make my own formulations, honey, sometimes it's just easier. You ain't got to reinvent the wheel. If someone is doing something over there and it's good, honey, go ahead and handle it. Go ahead and use it. Sometimes I don't need to. If I know this person over here has what I need and it works, I'm gonna make it happen. For instance, I'm always on the protection, and protection is my specialty, but I have got a home girl who practices Obeah, and she's got a magic. She's got a magic when it comes to the alligator foot magic and the chicken foot magic. Now, do I know how to treat that? Do I know how to create that? Yeah, I do. I know how to create, I have the instructions. I know how to create a Bespel protective chicken foot. I know how to create a Bespel protective alligator foot. Do I want to go through? No, I don't. I don't even want to finish that sentence. No, I don't want to go through all it takes to get that done. I don't want to go through all it takes to get that done. But I trust her. My spirit trusts her. Our spirits connect. That's the work she does, so I'm gonna let her do it. And my work is paid for. I'm currently waiting for my alligator foot. I'm currently waiting for my chicken foot to come in the mail. And when it does, I will show y'all and point you in the right direction of who she is so y'all can support her too. But yeah, once I get that, I'm going to take all of this to the process that I need to take it into, and then I'm going to activate it, and it's going to be on. And it's going to be on. Because she is such a powerful, protective person. I know the spirit she messes with ain't nothing to mess around with. And I know she is making this with so much love for me. So I already trust her. I already know that this is coming with the juice, the juice, the juice, the juice, the juice. And I'm going to put my juice in it. And I'm going to feel very confident in this doing exactly what it needs to do for me. Every piece of magic, once I have followed this process, every ingredient that I have bought from someone else has worked for me. And it's worked well for me. And it is in main part due to this process that I have learned to follow throughout the years. So that's that on that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful to some people. I'm definitely so excited. I'm so excited to share my line with you as I continue to work on it. You'll know more. I'll have a lot more concrete plan for you in about 6 months. I haven't named. I'm working on all the formulations, but I haven't named this line yet. So I have the hardest time naming things. So I can't wait. Check back with me in about 6 months. I'm going to have something very concrete to show you all. And I'm so excited to create my line. And again, I really hope this video was helpful for some of you out there. I know there's a lot of baby witches, new spiritualists, new occultists that follow me. And yeah, I hope this was just good information for you. And on that note, we done. I don't want to take up all of your time. I just want to take up a little bit of your time. Just a tiny little bit of your time. If you made it to the end of this video, gold star for you. Gold star for you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Gold star for you. Wow. Just in case no one has told you today, you are beautiful, you are magnificent, you are divine, and so very wonderful. Thank you for surviving everything you have survived to get you to this day. I appreciate it. You are a gift to this world, so thank you. Now, if you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notifications bell to keep up with all my shenanigans and happenings and all the good stuff. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful to you and how this was helpful to you, all right? Also, lastly, let me go over the products again. This is a fixed votive candle from Big Liz Conjure, and this is the Black Power one. So this is for Black people specifically. It's really just to help us rise up, to overcome, to imbue us with good energy, and it's definitely about that protection and that luck, okay? Now, there are other products in there that you do not have to be Black to buy, but obviously this is Black Power, so it's for Black people. Buy it for Black people, or if you're Black, buy it for yourself. And if you're not Black, we got all kind of stuff in there for you. All right, we got all kind of stuff in there for you. And secondly, we've got the spiritual soap. So I'm a big believer in the spiritual bath. I create my own formulations for the spiritual bath, but sometimes you just ain't got what it takes. You can't boil the pot of herbs, you can't do all the prayers, put on the music. It takes a minute for me to prepare my spiritual bath. So these soaps are really, really convenient because the herbs are getting on you, you're already in the water. It just helps. It just helps. It just helps. So these are spiritual soaps. You can get both of these. You can come and see us at 4260 Eastland Square Drive in Columbus, Ohio, or you can order both of these online at www.big LizConjure.com. I don't even know why I keep saying the www, but whatever, it is what it is. Y'all know what's up. And on that note, I'm going to see you all in the next video. Goddess, God, ancestors, Lawa, and universe willing. Y'all go ahead and have a good day, a good morning, good night, a good evening, a good middle of the night, a good whenever you have encountered this. And I will see all you lovely sugar honey dumplings in the next one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notifications bell to keep up with my shenanigans. Okay, I'm finally gonna let you go. I'm done talking. Peace. Mwah.